Relationships are foundational to our lives, offering comfort, support, and joy. However, they can also become sources of discomfort, stagnation, and distress. Recognizing when a relationship is no longer serving us is a crucial aspect of personal development, a concept that Stoic philosophy handles with profound wisdom and practicality. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy developed in the Hellenistic period, teaches the importance of understanding our emotions, controlling our reactions, and living in harmony with our true selves. It encourages us to cultivate virtues such as wisdom, courage, and justice, which are essential in navigating the complexities of interpersonal relationships. The Stoics believed that we must be selective about our companions, suggesting that the company we keep should reflect the values we aspire to embody. This philosophy provides us with a lens through which we can examine our relationships critically, assessing whether they contribute positively to our life's purpose or hinder our progress towards virtue. It prompts us to ask whether our relationships are sources of mutual growth and support, or if they are marked by toxicity and dysfunction. Stay with me as we embark on this journey together, guided by the timeless teachings of Stoicism, ready to discover the freedom and peace that come from choosing our relationships with wisdom and courage. And as we navigate this journey, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who might need to hear this message, and don't forget to like and watch every part without skipping, because every moment of this exploration could be the one that transforms your life. Sign 1. Lack of personal growth. Stoic philosophy deeply values self-improvement and personal evolution, teaching us that the essence of a fulfilled life is continuous growth and development. Relationships, which profoundly impact our emotional and psychological landscapes, should ideally foster this growth, pushing us toward our highest potentials. However, not all relationships serve this purpose. Some might indeed hinder our ability to grow, placing obstacles along our path to self-improvement. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, argued that our progress as individuals depends largely on our environment and the people with whom we choose to surround ourselves. He believed that personal growth is not just an internal pursuit, but is significantly influenced by external associations. Seneca's writings suggest that we must be vigilant and selective about our companionships, emphasizing that being around those who are wise, virtuous, and forward-thinking propels us forward, while associating with those who embody the opposite can lead us to stagnation. A relationship that stifles your growth can manifest in various ways. Perhaps it's overly critical without being constructive, or maybe it demands so much time and energy that it leaves you with no capacity for personal pursuits and self-care. These relationships do not align with Stoic values, which advocate for self-development as a means to live virtuously and meaningfully. Therefore, according to Stoicism, a lack of personal growth is a significant indicator that a relationship may need to be reconsidered or terminated. Seneca would counsel that to live a life worth living, one must continually evolve, learn, and push personal boundaries. If a relationship consistently prevents you from advancing in these areas, it is not only detrimental in a practical sense but also misaligned with Stoic principles of living a virtuous life. Recognizing and addressing these growth-stifling relationships is crucial to adhering to Stoic ideals and ensuring that one's life trajectory remains focused on self-improvement and personal excellence. Sign 2. Presence of manipulation and control. The presence of manipulation and control within a relationship is a significant red flag, strongly conflicting with Stoic teachings on autonomy and freedom. Stoicism, as a philosophy, champions the individual's sovereignty over their own mind and actions. Epictetus, a leading Stoic thinker, famously stated, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This foundational belief underscores the importance of self-governance and the right to make personal decisions without undue influence from others. In relationships where manipulation and control are prevalent, these Stoic principles are violated. Manipulation often manifests subtly, perhaps as emotional coercion, where one partner persistently shapes the other's feelings and decisions under the guise of concern or love. Control might appear more overtly, such as dictating who the other person can interact with or how they spend their time. Both dynamics undermine the Stoic ideal of living, according to one's reasoned choice and intrinsic values. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from within, from being in control of our actions and choices. A relationship that consistently undermines this control not only hampers personal freedom, but also stunts moral and intellectual growth. When one's ability to choose and act independently is compromised, so too is their ability to live a virtuous life, as dictated by Stoic philosophy. Recognizing and confronting manipulation and control are crucial steps toward reclaiming one's autonomy. It involves setting clear boundaries, openly communicating one's needs, and, if necessary, distancing oneself from relationships that are fundamentally restrictive. According to Stoic wisdom, the liberation of the self is paramount, and relationships should foster, not hinder, this freedom. For anyone entangled in such dynamics, reflecting on Epictetus's teachings can be empowering. It reinforces the need to reassess interactions and ensure they align with the Stoic pursuit of a life led by personal virtue and autonomy. Remember, in Stoicism, the health of one's mind and the sovereignty over one's choices are essential for true happiness and peace. Sign 3. Overwhelming negative emotions. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond to our circumstances, including our emotional reactions. Sustained negative emotions such as jealousy and resentment can severely impact the health of a relationship, indicating a possible need for its reassessment or conclusion. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's most revered proponents, offers invaluable guidance on managing these emotions through reason and rational thought. According to Marcus Aurelius, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This perspective is crucial when dealing with negative emotions that can often dominate the landscape of our relationships. For instance, jealousy can distort our perception, leading to bitterness and a lack of trust, while resentment can build walls that hinder communication and empathy. These emotions, if left unchecked, not only undermine individual well-being, but also the foundational trust and respect necessary for any healthy relationship. Marcus Aurelius advises us to step back from our immediate feelings and analyze them with reason. Why do we feel jealous? What specific events trigger our resentment? By understanding the roots of these emotions, we can address the underlying issues rather than merely reacting to the symptoms. This Stoic approach empowers individuals to confront and control their emotions, promoting a healthier dynamic within relationships. If one finds themselves consistently overwhelmed by negative emotions, it's a sign that the relationship may be out of alignment with Stoic ideals of tranquility and virtue. In such cases, it may be wise to consider whether the relationship is worth continuing or if it's more prudent to step away and seek peace. Marcus Aurelius's guidance reminds us that the cultivation of inner tranquility and rational handling of emotions is not just a personal endeavor, but also essential for maintaining healthy, supportive relationships. Thus, overwhelming negative emotions, if persistent and unresolved, serve as a clear indicator that changes are necessary to realign with Stoic principles. Sign 4. Consistent lack of support. In the framework of Stoicism, relationships serve as a crucial arena for the practice of virtues such as support, encouragement, and mutual understanding. These elements are not merely advantageous but essential for fostering growth and resilience in individuals. Stoicism places a high value on the community and interpersonal connections, viewing them as opportunities to both offer and receive wisdom, courage, and compassion. A consistent lack of support in a relationship can, therefore, be deeply incongruent with Stoic principles, which advocate for a life where individuals help each other progress toward greater virtue. Support in relationships manifests in various forms: emotional backing during challenging times, encouragement during pursuits of personal goals, or simply understanding and patience in daily interactions. It involves actively listening, offering constructive feedback, and being present in moments of need. The absence of such support can lead to a sense of isolation and stagnation, conditions that are antithetical to the Stoic goal of continuous personal and communal improvement. Stoic philosophy suggests that one's inner circle should act as a mirror, reflecting one's own aspirations and virtues. Seneca, another revered Stoic philosopher, emphasized that true friends are those who encourage us to practice virtue and who we, in turn, inspire similarly. Thus, a relationship lacking in fundamental support and encouragement fails to meet the Stoic ideal of a beneficial partnership that nurtures virtue and growth. If one consistently experiences a lack of support, it may indicate that the relationship does not align with the Stoic vision of constructive and reciprocal connections. Such a scenario not only hampers personal development, but also diminishes the quality of one's life by missing out on the profound benefits that supportive relationships provide. According to Stoicism, it is reasonable, and often necessary, to reconsider or even sever ties with relationships that consistently fail to offer support, as maintaining them could hinder one's pursuit of a virtuous and fulfilling life. This step, challenging as it may be, aligns with the Stoic commitment to live according to one's highest principles and to cultivate relationships that genuinely contribute to personal and moral growth. Sign 5. Violation of core values. In Stoicism, integrity and adherence to one's principles are not just idealistic virtues but practical necessities for living a fulfilled life. Relationships that require you to compromise these core values are fundamentally at odds with Stoic teachings, which emphasize living in alignment with one's deeply held beliefs and principles. Such compromises can lead to a profound internal conflict, eroding one's sense of self and integrity, which are critical components of Stoic philosophy. Stoics like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius taught that our character is defined by our choices and actions, and maintaining fidelity to our values is essential for preserving our moral integrity. Epictetus, in particular, stressed the importance of being true to oneself, even in the face of external pressures. He asserted, "If you lose your integrity, you lose yourself," highlighting the intrinsic link between personal ethics and identity. When relationships demand that we betray these personal ethics, whether through direct actions that contradict our values or through subtle pressures that erode our moral standards, they become toxic to our spiritual and emotional well-being. The Stoic approach to handling relationships that challenge our core values involves a rigorous assessment of the demands placed upon us and the moral cost of meeting those demands. If a relationship consistently requires us to act in ways that we believe to be wrong, it is not a relationship conducive to a good life, as defined by Stoicism. Such relationships divert us from the Stoic path of virtue and undermine our efforts to live authentically and honorably. Therefore, relationships that entail a violation of core values clearly signal a need for reevaluation or termination. This is not merely a suggestion, but a Stoic mandate to protect one's moral integrity and ensure that one's life remains aligned with Stoic principles of authenticity, virtue, and self-respect. To continue in such relationships would be to live in contradiction to the teachings of Stoicism, which call for a life where every action and every association supports and reflects one's deepest convictions. Sign 6. Reciprocity imbalance. In the Stoic view, relationships should embody a balance of give and take, reflecting the philosophical ideal of mutual benefit and support. Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtues such as justice and fairness, teaches that healthy relationships are inherently reciprocal. Such relationships are not merely transactional but are structured around a harmonious exchange of support, understanding, and respect. An imbalance in this reciprocity can signal a serious issue, undermining the very foundation upon which Stoic relationships are built. Stoics believe that every interaction should contribute positively to the lives of all involved. As Marcus Aurelius noted, just as you yourself are a component part of a social system, so is your every action a component part of social life. This means that each person's actions within a relationship should aim to uphold the collective well-being, fostering an environment where each party feels valued and supported. When one side consistently gives more than they receive, whether in terms of emotional support, understanding, or effort, It creates an imbalance that can lead to resentment, exhaustion, and a sense of injustice. Such an imbalance contradicts the Stoic principle of living according to nature, which includes maintaining natural and balanced interactions with others. If one partner in a relationship perpetually takes more than they give, this disrupts the natural equity of the relationship and can prevent both parties from achieving personal growth and happiness. Stoicism teaches that we should strive to correct or leave any situation where we cannot live virtuously, and a relationship lacking in reciprocity often falls into this category. Therefore, recognizing and addressing an imbalance in reciprocity is crucial. It is essential not only for the health of the relationship, but also for the personal well-being of both individuals involved. If efforts to restore balance fail, it may be necessary to reconsider the relationship's viability. According to Stoic wisdom, letting go of unbalanced relationships can be a profound act of self-care and respect for one's own dignity and happiness. Sign 7. Persistent dishonesty. Honesty and trust are foundational elements of any lasting relationship, aligning closely with Stoic principles regarding truthfulness and integrity in personal interactions. Stoicism places a high premium on living a life of virtue, where honesty is not merely a moral choice but a crucial aspect of one's character and social interactions. Persistent dishonesty within a relationship starkly contradicts these Stoic values, undermining the trust that is essential for a healthy, functioning partnership. The Stoics, including philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, emphasize the importance of being truthful in all endeavors as a reflection of one's inner virtue. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This directive underscores the Stoic commitment to truth as a fundamental expression of ethical living. In relationships, this philosophy mandates a transparency that fosters trust and mutual respect. When dishonesty occurs, it not only breaches this trust but also compromises the moral framework shared by those involved. Persistent dishonesty, whether manifesting as small lies, omissions of truth, or deceit about significant matters, erodes the foundation of trust and can lead to a spiraling loss of respect and affection. For Stoics, every interaction is an opportunity to practice virtue, and dishonesty is a direct abdication of this responsibility. When faced with continual dishonesty, the Stoic response involves a critical evaluation of whether the relationship can genuinely be rectified or whether it detracts from one's ability to live virtuously. Thus, in the context of Stoicism, persistent dishonesty in a relationship is a clear sign that it may be time to end the association. Such a step is not taken out of malice or punishment, but from a necessity to maintain one's commitment to Stoic ideals, living truthfully and fostering relationships that allow both individuals to thrive in truthfulness and integrity. Sign 8. Emotional or physical abuse. Within Stoic philosophy, the commitment to maintaining one's dignity and self-respect is paramount, and this extends directly into the realm of personal relationships. Stoicism teaches that each individual possesses intrinsic worth and must uphold these values under all circumstances. Recognizing any form of abuse, be it emotional or physical, as a clear and non-negotiable indicator to end a relationship is aligned with the Stoic principles of self-preservation and respect for one's inherent dignity. Stoic thought, as conveyed by philosophers like Epictetus, emphasizes that while we cannot control external events, we do have control over our response to them. This tenet is particularly relevant in the context of abusive relationships. Epictetus stated, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In situations of abuse, this Stoic wisdom guides individuals to protect their well-being by removing themselves from harmful dynamics. The decision to leave an abusive relationship, therefore, is not just a personal choice, but a Stoic duty to oneself. Abuse, whether emotional or physical, fundamentally degrades the victim's quality of life and self-worth. It is a direct assault on the Stoic ideal of living a virtuous and peaceful life. Stoics would argue that enduring abuse does not align with the virtues of wisdom and courage. as it perpetuates harm and hinders one's ability to lead a good life. Instead, Stoicism advocates for actions that restore and protect one's dignity and promote a life free from turmoil and degradation. Thus, in the face of abuse, the Stoic response is clear and decisive: to end the relationship. Such a decision reaffirms one's respect for oneself and aligns with Stoic teachings on protecting one's mental and physical integrity. It also sends a powerful message that one values oneself too highly to tolerate any form of disrespect or harm, embodying the Stoic pursuit of a dignified, virtuous life. Sign 9. Chronic stress and anxiety. In Stoicism, maintaining inner peace and tranquility is essential, as these states allow one to think clearly and act virtuously. Relationships that consistently generate chronic stress and anxiety are antithetical to Stoic principles, which prioritize serenity and rationality. Continuous emotional turmoil does not merely disrupt one's peace, it can significantly hinder one's ability to live according to Stoic virtues. The Stoics, including Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, advocated for a life in which individuals control their perceptions and reactions to external events, a fundamental aspect of reducing stress and anxiety. Epictetus taught that external occurrences do not disturb people, but rather their judgments about those occurrences. In the context of relationships, this means that it is often our interpretation of actions and words that causes distress. Stoic practices such as reflection, the suspension of immediate judgments, and focusing on what is within our control are crucial strategies for mitigating relationship-induced stress. However, when stress and anxiety become chronic, they indicate deep-seated issues that might be beyond what Stoic detachment and rational management can address. Chronic stress can erode mental and physical health, leading to a diminished capacity for enjoying life and fulfilling one's duties. If a relationship persistently drains your emotional and mental resources, it contradicts the Stoic aim of living a harmonious and balanced life. Thus, from a Stoic perspective, a relationship that is a constant source of stress and anxiety might need to be reassessed or ended to preserve one's well-being and capacity for virtue. This action is not seen as a failure, but as a necessary decision to maintain personal tranquility and ensure that one's life remains free from unnecessary and destructive disturbances. Such choices reinforce the Stoic commitment to self-care and the prudent management of one's environment to foster a life conducive to virtue and inner peace. Sign 10. Feeling drained. Instead of energized Stoicism teaches that relationships should act as sources of strength and vitality, not as drains on our energy and spirit. According to Stoic principles, every interaction should contribute positively to our well-being, enhancing our ability to live virtuously and happily. A relationship that leaves one consistently feeling drained, rather than energized, is misaligned with this Stoic ideal, suggesting an imbalance that may need rectification or cessation. The Stoic approach to relationships is centered on mutual growth and the exchange of positive energies that reinforce each other's virtues. Marcus Aurelius, a proponent of this philosophy, emphasized the importance of surrounding oneself with people who evoke the best in us, helping us to rise to greater heights of moral and personal development. Relationships are seen as a dynamic interplay of give and take, where the energy invested should reciprocate in kind, fostering a cycle of continual renewal and enrichment. When a relationship consistently saps your energy, it could be due to various factors such as emotional dependency, unresolved conflicts, or simply a misalignment of values and life goals. Such relationships can become unsustainable, as they place undue stress on one's Stoic resolve by diverting energy from self-improvement and the pursuit of virtue. Instead of contributing to one's growth, they detract from it, making it difficult to maintain the inner peace and rationality prized by Stoicism. Thus, if you find yourself repeatedly exhausted by your interactions with someone, it's crucial to consider this a significant sign that the relationship may not be worth maintaining. From a Stoic standpoint, ending such a relationship is not only about seeking personal happiness, but also about preserving one's health, energy, and capacity for virtue. It is in keeping with the Stoic commitment to ensure that one's environment, including one's relationships, supports and does not hinder one's philosophical and practical goals. Sign 11. Lack of mutual respect. Respect is a cornerstone of any meaningful relationship and is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the dignity of each individual and the reciprocal nature of respect. Stoics believe that respect forms the basis of ethical interaction and is essential for the development and maintenance of virtuous relationships. Without mutual respect, relationships fail to provide the environment necessary for fostering growth, understanding, and true companionship. Stoicism teaches that respect should be accorded to all, as everyone possesses rationality and is capable of virtue. This fundamental Stoic belief is reflected in how relationships should function. Each party should respect the other's opinions, boundaries, and contributions to the relationship. Marcus Aurelius highlighted the importance of viewing others as partners in a communal existence, stating, "Men exist for the sake of one another. Teach them then, or bear with them." This perspective underscores the idea that respect involves both an educational and a forbearing component, where individuals learn from and patiently support each other. A lack of mutual respect can manifest in various ways, such as dismissive attitudes, belittling comments, or a general disregard for the other's feelings and needs. These behaviors not only degrade the quality of the relationship, but also conflict with the Stoic principle that every human interaction should be conducted with honor and fairness. Relationships that consistently lack respect challenge the Stoics' commitment to living a principled life aligned with virtue. Therefore, if you are in a relationship where mutual respect is absent, it is a clear indication, according to Stoic wisdom, that the relationship is not conducive to a good and meaningful life. Ending or redefining such relationships becomes necessary to uphold one's own dignity and to remain true to Stoic ideals. This alignment with one's values is crucial not only for personal well-being, but also for maintaining the integrity and utility of one's relationships in fostering a virtuous life. In conclusion, the Stoic philosophy provides a robust framework for evaluating the health and viability of personal relationships. By focusing on virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, Stoicism encourages us to maintain relationships that foster mutual growth, respect, and well-being. It teaches us to recognize signs that a relationship may be detrimental to our moral and personal development, and offers guidance on how to address these issues, or when necessary, to step away. The Stoic approach to relationships is rooted in the belief that every interaction should contribute positively to our lives. This perspective is crucial when assessing whether relationships are healthy or unhealthy. Signs of unhealthy dynamics, as discussed, include persistent dishonesty, chronic stress, manipulation, lack of support, and violations of core values. These indicators not only reflect a departure from Stoic ideals, but also signal that a relationship might be hindering our pursuit of a good life, a life of virtue, peace, and fulfillment. Stoicism teaches us that the presence of negative influences in our relationships requires decisive action. This might involve initiating honest conversations to address issues, redefining relationship boundaries, or in some cases, ending the relationship altogether. The goal is not to sever ties for minor reasons, but to ensure that our closest associations are with individuals who respect us, uplift us, and share our commitment to living virtuously. As we navigate the complexities of our relationships, let Stoic principles guide us. Let them remind us that our primary commitment is to our own character and virtue. Relationships should not lead us away from our path, but should be sources of mutual support and enrichment. In applying Stoic wisdom, we learn not only to enhance our own lives, but also to contribute positively to the lives of those around us, crafting relationships that are truly worth cherishing. In summary, let us embrace the Stoic teachings to make empowered decisions about our relationships, ensuring that they align with our deepest values and aspirations. This approach will help us cultivate a life that is not only rich in love and friendship, but also grounded in wisdom and virtue.